Hello, welcome to my channel. I decided the first thing I would talk about is why being a content creator kinda sucks. Clearly there are jobs that don't have as many privileges as being a content creator, but I feel that when you're on the other side of the screen, the struggles are usually dismissed or diminished. So let's see. When you're getting started, you're joining a race where everyone already has 1 billion followers, and you're at the start with basically no reason. I think it's a bit overwhelming to see all these videos and feeling like you can't do enough to put yourself in. What exactly can you do to put yourself out there? How can you make something appealing, and how do you know if you're doing anything correctly? The best part about this self-discovery process is that it's a gamble on whether all that consistency and effort you put into it will result in something. Because you can crack your head editing or scripting, perfecting your craft, but a video that took 5 minutes to put together can have a lot more reach. Or even better, somebody takes your content and shares it. That's 10 million views guaranteed, because that's what the internet's all about. And it's seen on every website you can think of: Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. I think the biggest victims to this are animators and artists, because they spend days to months on something and their work is just posted somewhere else and they move on. There isn't much they can do. Sometimes the thieves get backlash and they credit in the description, but for the main artist to have noticed means that it probably already gained too much traction, so all those views and potential followers are gone. I think it's important to bring awareness to the fact that you can counter these through copyright forms. So I linked a little thread in the description with the steps for Instagram, and I think Twitter can be found a little below that. The second best part of being a victim of theft on the internet is that the stolen art always gets help from the algorithm. Algorithms are what makes a channel or page what they are. They are also the most common complaint when you're a creator. On YouTube we have the typical time benefits and click ratios, while on Instagram they have their own conspiracy theories, with sketches being promoted more than drawings, or the importance of saving posts. I don't get much of it because it's outside of my YouTube bubble, but what I say still stands. Algorithms are important for growth, meaning it's not only about skill or talent anymore. What makes them so annoying to people is only the fact that the platforms don't tell you the secrets for them, and you'll never know what they want from you in terms of monetization or impressions. Not growing is never entirely the algorithm's fault, obviously. But thanks to it, you can't know whether it's your content needing tweaking, or the fact that people aren't even getting to see your content in the first place, which is stressful. The algorithm alone adds a lot of pressure and insecurity on yourself and what you make, which, especially if you're small, is a big factor in burnout. You lose the focus and the interest for what you're doing. It affects your workflow and adds more pressure and stress that adds to the burnout itself, making it a cycle. When creating stuff, you have to force yourself to be entertaining and creative. With burnout, it's not the same, and it happens to a lot, if not most creators. The amount of time and work for each video, stream, or piece of content is highly imbalanced with its engagement, and that leads to overworking. I think making content is a very psychological process. Trying to meet deadlines frequently, while satisfying and maintaining a following and putting up with destructive criticism. It is like putting your workplace out in public, after all. So many people taking a look at every move you take and putting you either on a pedestal or in the garbage. Putting a person on the spotlight with every action and every word completely exposed and available for everyone in the world to see is a little tough. I look at it as a constant pressure an online persona has to have on everything they do, with a fear of being misinterpreted or misunderstood. Even when there are people that are actually bad, since they are not in the spotlight, it's easier to get away with. I feel like having part of your life and your work on an open book for everyone to comment on is a little unfair on the judgment part. So when you make stuff, your mental health is already at a tipping point with all these factors, plus doxing or simply having a life outside of your content. But then, why is the demand so high for this? Why does everyone want to be a content creator? Well, because when you take all these out, it's easier than most jobs. The privileges you get once you've made it almost make up for all the psychological damage too. I think it's about wanting to play the game or not on these platforms. Whether you're passionate about making things, what your ambition and long-term goal are. Because despite all this, being able to entertain or brighten people's days through content and having it as a career is something unique to being a creator, and for some there's nothing better than that. If you stumbled upon this video and you're a starting, aspiring, or small creator, remember that despite all that stuff, it's really about whether or not you want to invest the time and resources on this. I'll give it a go myself and see how long I last, so I'll see you guys around.